Hey guys, so today I am going to be talking to you about gun violence in the United States and Western countries. Gun violence is a type of violence that is used with a gun. What ways are guns used? Criminal ways, like people that have criminals, they use their gun for like killing somebody and they end up going to jail or homicide and suicide. And some people use guns for hunting, which isn't bad at all, but it's okay. And then some people use guns for protection. What are the top factors that contribute gun violence in the United States? The top factors that contribute gun violence in the United States is pop culture influence. For example, would be video games that have like the gamers with the guns and like killing other people, zombies or anything like that. And bullying, which is 13.8%, and for early release short sentencing for violent offenders. And guns are too easy to obtain, which is 13.8%, and poor identification and treatment of the people with mental illness. Like, I feel like you would be able to, like, help people that have mental illness by, like, background checks and mental health evaluation would be good. And I just feel like maybe more political federal control background checks will only keep people, and maybe they would want to follow the law. And decline in parenting and family values is 17%. The economic factors and income inequality, repeat exposure to violence in home or community, lack of coping and stress management goes among individuals, and gang involvement, which is 14%. So a lot of kids, especially teens, they join gangs because, like, about age 15. And a lot of guns are used in robbery, drug-related crimes. And 88% of all boys and over 76% of girls, they usually shoot somebody because they just need money, which is involvement of a game. And about 30 to 40% of boys and about 15 to 30% of girls have committed a serious violent offense by the age of 17, which is involved of a gang activity. And then a gun in a home is 43 times more likely to be used to kill a family member or offender to commit suicide to defend oneself. And guns are often used in drug robberies or to kill somebody. The Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. In 2013, the U.S. Supreme Court declined to take any Second Amendment cases, leaving both the scope of the right to keep and bear arms and appropriate methodology for deciding Second Amendment cases, which is uncertain. Ask yourself this question: Should the Second Amendment have not been made? I think that it should have and not have, because maybe if it was not made, we would have many problems, but it will not stop violence overall. What could have the Second Amendment done to make the right to bear arms better? I think the Second Amendment could have possibly made it to where only certain people are allowed to have guns, but cops and military would have guns, and they are part of the gun violence. And we could have more background checks and mental health evaluations and more political federal control and background checks. What laws should pass for guns? What age? I feel like the appropriate age would be like 21. And reason. What is the reason that you need a gun? Like, why are you wanting a gun? And I feel like everyone should have a mental health and criminal background screening before they get the purchase of a gun. and only certain people should be allowed to have a gun. Protection. Guns are used a lot for protection. Many people want protection because of the unpredictable nature of human beings. Schools. A lot of schools are having school shootings, and so a lot of the teachers feel like they're unsafe, and maybe they would feel a lot safer if they could have a gun. Cops use guns for their own protection. People want to protect themselves because it's not predictable what's going to happen. Military uses guns to protect themselves from the enemy whenever they go to war or whenever they're fighting. And then reason for guns being allowed is the Second Amendment. There's no certain age and protection, and cops have their own gun for protection. And military because they are allowed to use guns to be able to fight in the war and other reasons. And these are some questions about gun purchases and where should guns be banned. I believe that school teachers should be allowed to carry regular handguns in school. I disagree because then maybe the students would feel unsafe. I believe that professors should be allowed to carry regular handguns on university campus. I disagree because I feel like the students would feel unsafe. I believe that security precautions on school campuses should be stricter. I do agree because maybe our schools and campuses would be better, like just check. I believe that the United States government is doing enough to address the issue of gun violence. I agree and disagree because I feel like the government could make it better by adding background checks and mental health evaluations, like making sure that it's okay for them to have a gun. And how many deaths in a year are caused by gun violence? 92 Americans are killed, 12,000 gun homicides in 1 year. For every one person killed, 2 more are usually injured. 62% of firearm deaths in the U.S. are suicide. 7 children and teens are killed with guns in the U.S. on an average day. 50 women are shot to death by intimate partners. America's homicide rate is 25 times average in other developed countries. Background checks have blocked nearly 3 million gun sales. Black men are 14 times more likely to be shot than white men. And here's my work study. Hope you guys enjoyed my presentation and learned a little bit more about gun violence. Thank you.